And what's really sad about it, which when I called her, when she called me and said that we didn't get it, I said, so what do we do with that on? Well, it's slightly better and less than we only had a health inspection, that was it.
Yes.
And but they're accepting the other one as soon as they make an adjustment to it. I'm like, I'm thinking about making an adjustment to it. Why didn't you give us an opportunity to make an adjustment? And then I thought to myself when I hung up, I said, it's either one of them or one of those teams. So I pulled it up the next morning, like, sure enough, that's why they were willing to make an adjustment to it.
Yeah.
That's shitty. I don't know.
But other than
Everyone city data shine, bro.
Yeah,
Hype them
they-
up.
And I mean, we're definitely seeing the right.
Nicole had put a listing on, she was throwing it on and as she was throwing it on, she's like, oh, we took,
After
that was like before that other one was put there. I'm still supposed to get that other one. I don't know what's gonna,
that's true.
so,
It could take a while for those.
so we'll see on that. And I've got some builder ones I'm gonna throw up, but I'll probably just throw those listings up myself because I'm familiar with some of them. So I know all the ins and outs. I don't know how it's gonna go anyhow.
Where's that? Where's the new construction?
Gettysburg.
Are they like seniors or
No.
no? I
But
need like a senior. Community.
it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a senior community.
I didn't want it on sales. I see
They
that
want
on
to be
Facebook.
Okay.
I have been like,
And
that's when it's started.
See, this one,
Nothing out of it,
this one,
except the small bag.
this one, senior, however, is going to be leading this way. A lot of the houses are footprint houses. So all the lawn maintenance and everything being taken care of, and 90% of them are going to be first floors. And 90% of them are gonna be the footprint, so 10% are actually where you own the land and have to maintain it, but the other ones are gonna be maintained as far as mowing and all that kind of stuff. So
How you
they
doing?
can set it up as a
Yeah, so the peeps that are buying would be the peeps that are selling that farm down. Whatever it's that we have, what that happens. But they have to put that back under contract before they can write.
Well, let me know, because they will take you in. And if you do decide that way, contact me, if they're still marketing or if they're agent on that, then that's why I say it's gonna be weird. If I'm marketing three to four houses for them,
Yeah.
they want to get extra activity. And,
Preparing me to get ready.
and they still want their agent in there, because they want somebody in there. I'll mark it out for them, but I'm
You do a heck of a job. Oh, thanks. I tried.
So, so, but I can sell anything there. It's just something I only want to list three to four of their houses.
Sounds good.
I'll have to run out. I'll be in touch.
I'm here.
Hang in.
You don't like. That's not me.
How are you?
Brother, it was the rich kid. It's that every time they win, I had one for like 5 months. I didn't have one to play.
Good, I had a settlement 3 weeks ago down there on the house.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Any reason to get down?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't.
No, no, I went down 3 days, and went down and back, but we didn't walk through it before, someone did.
Oh, shit.
Day, settlement.
That's awesome. About the lumber board today.
I'm hoping, yeah, right now, I don't know anybody, I'm basically marketing with people up here. Want to go down there, or buy it faster. These people, I just come out here, and I come to Florida, so. I just go there, come for help. That's my, that's my. Somebody.
He's on one
Right
of
now, I'm doing pretty much, I'm not getting. Stuff like that, but my niche area, I'm like, I'm Casey Napper, down to the Gulf of Lauderdale, and then the Gulf Coast, clear water down there. I can do it.
It's like a major operation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice.
I think it's flying.
Everything. Average. But they were telling me about it. It's crazy. They keep expanding it. And oh, yeah, it's huge. It's downtown of Atlanta. Yeah, a lot of people have retired. Yeah, they don't end up on the south, they end up in the village.
Apparently still the building that way. Get the money in. Back out.
Last over.
He feels like he knows that.
Good seeing you.
And he's just trying Oh, just. Okay, yep.
I see what you're doing. Right, I got mine first.
Okay, yeah.
Do you not remember what I was thinking?
Oh, wow.
I'm waiting now. No rain.
No, it's not.
I get out. No.
Just for you.
So I got out.
Where's your fearless leader? It's a good sign. Nobody wants to sit in the front row. I'm ready to get in the back. Spit too much.
I was here. Give it a couple more minutes.
Do it and drink that coffee though.
Dude, I had a quad espresso. I'm like, oh, no,
I don't. Nothing.
Really.
Did you get it?
Megan's going to get it, but we'll pass it around. Nobody's in the office, I said, so when you pass it, remember it's better. Try to reach out, to them, we can't find his number. They're not. They would want- Yeah, even that.
Let him talk, man. Let him talk.
I didn't. Yeah, do you want me to write one? For the age students. Hey, how are you? For the straight A's.
Starbucks is pretty good. Starbucks is pretty good.
It's weird.
It's very kind of. It's reminded me of I watched the movie yesterday. This is the end. It's all coming up right now. Yeah, it's like you just probably Jonah Hill that movie like always be it. So. Oh yeah.
Hi, guys, good morning. Appreciate you all coming in. We're gonna get started. We have guest speaker Shauna, who I think everyone should know, from RAAC. She's gonna go over some updates around RAAC and ways to get involved. So she's our guest speaker today. We'll go through our typical slides and give the floor to her. So as always, we're gonna go with the Pledge of Allegiance first.
You okay? Yep, sure. Fine, so.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bucket fills. This is where we share gratitude for those that haven't been here yet. I'm calling on you three, since you called me out in the morning. What are your wins? Who would you like to thank? What do you?
I would like to thank Megan. She's awesome.
Yeah, Megan. You want to go deeper on that? She's an awesome person.
You want me to go too? I'd like to thank the team because I feel like we're in a little bit of a dry spell, but they're still like working as hard as ever, so. I'm trying to get some shit done.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Adam because he's how I found out about the team.
I need at least three more.
I got one. I'll thank you and Kayla for helping me out when I was away.
You're welcome. Didn't work out, but you're welcome.
No, you should.
I would like to thank you because I think you don't get things done for the leadership that you do.
Two.
It's your day. You didn't
It is
have
my
a
day.
positive protest.
So now that's what I'm thankful for, everyone being grateful for that.
There you go.
Anyone else?
People being thankful.
Yeah. Thanks for the appreciation. Anyone else? Need a couple more?
Thankful for Bob, always wearing a smile.
We talked about Bob earlier in ALC because he shows up to all the trainings. We're like, if we didn't have Bob, there wouldn't be no training. I'm either untrainable or. Anybody else? Good, before we go to the next one? All right. It's happy birthday, we did a lot of them, I think yesterday, I had 8 people. Mike Burns started off the month. Who else is here in the room? Greg?
Greg.
Greg, we're 29. Go 29? Happy birthday, Brittany Wagner was just the other day, Bottle's in the room. Just had his birthday. And Jess is coming up. Ooh, 8 days. Happy birthday, you guys. Next one's anniversary, but anniversaries too. Yeah, like half of our roster. And Jen, Holly, he's not here, he's doing some video shoot. I think Debbie, he's not in here. Debbie's one of like the original Kelly Williams, so that's gotta be 15 years, I want to say. 16 years.
Yeah, I want to say something.
Yes,
My sister Mary, everybody, she actually just joined KW Philly.
yes, I just got.
She moved there, so got her business. It's definitely not her anniversary.
She Philly.
Some clarity.
She Philly South.
I think she just KW Philly.
Okay, yeah, there's Philly and then there's Philly South.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just got her paperwork. I knew she was
Nice.
talking about that.
yeah. So you can refer a business though. Extend.
All right, welcome. We have Gavin, who's in the room. He's on Jeremy Holiday's group. And Lindsay Herman and Dylan Herman, husband and wife. Lindsay's gonna be helping IFHB and Liz's group out. And Dylan's gonna be pitching in as well. So if you see him around, give him a nice warm welcome. Once here. So thank you. All right, our belief system is over this.
No win or no deal.
Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first.
Commitment in all things.
Communication, seek first to understand.
Creativity, ideas before results.
Teamwork together, everyone achieves more.
Trust.
starts with honesty.
Equity opportunities for all.
Success results through people.
First usually.
Thank you. Yeah, where is he? Taking the day off.
Probably
Getting his haircut. Casey, don't know that she's a newer agent. We celebrated her welcoming the other month. She just had a baby. I think we did share that on Facebook page, but you see Casey coming in and out. And congratulate her.
Well, give her a round of applause too.
Oh,
She delivered that baby at home.
Did she? Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, it was alone at home pretty much.
She's in PC, so,
Yeah,
yeah, well, wow, that's crazy.
that is crazy.
All right, celebration time of our top producers. Go over this every month and gotta celebrate the people that had phenomenal months. I gotta look over this way, I can't look back. I need a kid. So first we have Greg Jean, who's sitting in the room at 1.7. Yeah, Greg. How many you got on your wall now?
Not enough.
That's being on.
Work hard, Mike.
So Greg, Nate Johnson came in next to him at 1.4. Well, David Pottle, first time as an individual, coming in at 1.2. Joe Smith at 1.2, you just edged him out. Because you guys tied in units, so the tiebreaker would have been that. And then Roxanne Whitaker at 967,000. So great job to them. As far as teams, Colby and Neal, 5.4 mil, Liz at 4.7. David Monster Group had 4.3. Kate Burgess, first time on the board. And Michael Hargett, see you in here?
He just
left. So he also hit the board. So Nate, and as far as units, Nate at 7, Greg at 6, Otto and Jeff at 5, Roxanne 4, and then Liz did 30 deals. So I saw Julie's here representing the team. Take that back. Oh, Fahad's here, yes. Fahad, I missed you. Fahad, what's up? Fahad here. Gotta come get back. Colby New at 18, David Monster at 16, Kate at 9. Dave Schmidt team at 8. So congratulations to you guys. And there it is for someone to lead. Anything you guys want to contribute? Hey, can you go back? Give the photo. I got it. Yeah, go back. There you go. I got it. So, good. Did you get it? Yeah. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about successes? Like how did it go? Like, what did you do? Can you share with the group that they can one day do this?
Just double-sided some buckets.
Both sides.
100% true. 100% true.
Say that for the next settle.
Okay, how about you? You had a big one in that. Talk about that one. I want to, we gotta, not many people get to experience something of that price point.
So
What was the price?
it was 1.216. And ironically, this woman, I joined a women's group a couple years ago, and the amount of business that I've gotten from this women's group is insane. I was with her one time. She's followed me on Facebook for 3-4 years now. Called me in the spring. Hey, we're thinking about building. So her and her husband are responsible for like 1.6 million of that, just one-time interaction and staying present.
Present is the key
I mean,
word.
I like check in, but you know what I mean? It's being present.
Yeah. Well, and then again, that goes to like the social media, leveraging that, making sure that people are still seeing you consistently. That way they constantly will remember you. Great job. Congratulations to Mike Hargett, who's bailing out, and Greg team, your cap. Greg, when did you, how many months did it take you to cap?
It reset February 1st.
Okay, so 6 months roughly to get there. Congratulations for, I think we talked about this, but I always have to go back into it. Capping is when you hit that certain amount of company dollar, you then get 100% to your next anniversary year. So these individuals are now gonna enjoy 100% commission until their next anniversary. So congratulations. I was hoping Edwin would be here, so again, congrats to the first closings. Edwin, Randy, and Terrence all had their first closings settle up. We're gonna talk about that, but he didn't make it. You were involved in Randy's deal.
Yeah, I'm.
How did Randy get that deal?
I think he just got a lead and followed up and went and showed
And
him
then
out,
you just helped him throughout the transaction.
helped him, just go through the contract. And so he's brand new. So,
Yeah,
this is his first settlement of his career. He's been licensed for longer. You know what I mean? Like probably like a year or so.
yeah.
He was at Berkshire Hathaway and came over here. So he's actually like a he calls himself a plumber, but he's a nurse that goes and like, does the at-home medicine for people that needs infusions and stuff. But he's looking to make the transition and come full-time, so.
And then Greg, you worked with Terrence since he's in PC.
Yeah.
How did he get his deal and?
Terrence's deal was actually one of Liz's listings. I think he got the buyer through Op City.
Upsetting.
Yeah. He's been doing a lot of Op City leads that are probably going to turn into something.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, he wanted to join us today, but then he had some other things come up. So congrats to them, the first deals, that's big.
All right, Rayak events. I'll have Tina participate as she usually does, but we have some events coming up that are very important. I'd love to see big KW participation, but Tina, you want to
Right,
share?
well, and Shauna's here, so she can
Yeah,
follow
she
up
can
as
help
well. So this year, RAAC is turning 100, which is amazing. So if anybody wants to submit the design, it was extended to this Friday. So anybody who has really good design skills, you're gonna get some perks for the gala in April. Our homeless outreach event is coming up this year after a couple year hiatus because of COVID. We're gonna call it Red Day 2.0. So reach out and get some information about that. We'd love to have you come. Our annual meeting this year is on a Tuesday. It's also at the Wyndham Garden. And designer bag bingo, we are still looking for 10 sponsors. So if anybody would like to contribute $150 to sponsor a bag, the handbags are already purchased and it is open to the public. It's going to be up in Dover. It's a fun event. And so if you know of anybody, you know, through your spouse, through church, through organizations, it's a fun event and all the proceeds benefit the foundation. There you go.
Homeless outreach.
I mentioned it.
You did.
Jonathan, tell more.
No, that's fantastic.
All right. Oh, I think that was the. Yeah, this is the form. So if you guys didn't know, we try to keep you guys informed with any contract updates that are taking place. There was a form that was, well, part of the contract that was readjusted was around the mortgage contingency. Apparently, even if you elected it, the way the wording was and where it was placed allowed you to still get out of the deal. Even if it wasn't because of a mortgage contingency. So they just moved paragraph A8, A5 and F5. This will go out if it hasn't already in our Facebook page, but it just kind of protects the buyer seller a little bit more in that process. But just want to update you guys on that because there's been a couple changes over the past few months. Oh, this one's good. I'm glad this got in here. I was like, what is this pro tip? I can't stress it enough, and I'm sure everybody in here that is on the listing side can relate. We never get feedback from agents on the buyer side. Please, if you guys are showing homes and you to a buyer and you get the feedback form, just fill it out, do something like help the other agent out understand what they need to do to change it with the buyer either liked or didn't like. This is like, I know it was easy for quite some time where listings would sell in a couple hours. Now they're not, like now it's days, weeks. This is big. I mean, this is just, again, being a professional, giving people feedback. Because I know, and I think it even says in there, one day you're going to be a listing agent if you're not, and you're going to be chasing buyers to get down for feedback for your sellers. So, but I've been doing this for 15 years and it's been an ongoing 15-year problem, but it starts with us. So please give feedback.
Do it before you drive away. from
What
the
is
house.
wrong with this? Oh my God.
You hit the button so freaking hard that it sticks.
We need a new keyboard.
All that espresso is.
Yeah.
It is. Five, so it's not. All right, we have a couple things that also I'm gonna add onto this here as well, but as fall pay night did get canceled, so if you were planning on showing up, we didn't get a registration, so please don't show up, there won't be any payment happening. We didn't get anybody to really sign up and participate, so we returned the full day. As we have color real estate, these are all virtual classes and market center financials is also coming up if you want to do a dive into what our books are and how we keep track of our financials on a monthly basis. We are an open book company, so it kind of teaches that. Equitable opportunity and social equity workshop that's also virtual. That is a KWRI and regional class. Wealth Building Wednesday, it's every Wednesday, teaching you different strategies about building different types of wealth, not just being a real estate agent. Business plan clinic with Gene Rivers. This comes up every year in October.
It's a great class. If you haven't taken it and you're interested in setting up your business for 2023. It teaches you how to set goals, hold yourself accountable, again, be financially responsible. So this is a great one-day class in Malvern, as you can see from 9 to 5. Leadership fundamentals. This is a 2-day event, and so I won't be here, unfortunately, it's 2 days, but this is just something around leadership, like leadership within the market center, the fundamentals around just running a market center as well. And we have the World of KW Tech on the 10th and the 19th. Couple things I want to add outside of what we did with the homeless outreach, which is the 20th, the REACT meeting, annual meeting, which is the 25th. The potluck is now on November 10th. So mark that down. It's going to be just like we have done it in the past. We'll have a sign-up sheet that will go out. It's going to be here. Again, it's always been a really great event. So looking forward to that one. I think that's it. Did I miss anything on this?
After the,
Oh, yeah, thank you.
after the outreach, the happy hour,
Yeah.
it's to be determined the location.
Oh, yes, yeah. So we are, after the outreach, we do want to get everybody together and some for a happy hour. We're trying to figure out location. Windridge isn't gonna work because they have some other bookings going on. So we're either thinking maybe South County or Bravino, Heritage, one of those three. So we'll send out stuff for that. And thank you, Fahad. The shift class is gonna start tomorrow with good old Joe Cipollini. He is still around. So he is gonna be teaching that every Thursday, probably like 10 to 11-ish. We're gonna break down, if you don't know what shift is, it's a book that's written by Gary Keller around the market when it shifted in 2008, and just really bringing back the basics, mindset, tactics. It's a 12 tactic book. We're gonna break it down into sections, and it's, again, we're in a shifting market right now. So we want to make sure that we are educating you guys into how to prepare for that and how to do the things that need to be done to offset what we're going to see. Yes.
Can I say something about that, Ryan?
Yeah.
So, the book is amazing, guys, in regards to what we're going through right now, but I really had like great interactions last time I was in class. And I encourage everybody that can be here. I get it, we all have busy schedules. Anybody that can be here, please come, because like we're definitely in that shift right now. And even me, like a couple listings are taking way longer to sell. And I was kind of got spoiled coming into this because I would always get everything under contract within 5 days. Those days are gone, quite frankly. And this is a great class to pick up strategies. I learned a lot last time that I was implementing. So I'm looking forward to being here tomorrow.
We did run this, I'll give it to you, sorry, but we did run this, when we thought the market was shifting before, then it went the other direction. So so there's that, we're around for that, like, this is now the direction we thought shift was going. But
What went wrong? Is that gonna be on Zoom too, right?
yes, we'll have a Zoom,
Will that be recorded as well?
yes, we will. Yep.
I also wanted to put a plug in for Deal Talks that happens every other Thursday at 11 o'clock. If you are frustrated with something that's going on, or want some advice or hear what other agents have story-wise to tell about deals that they've dealt with, it's a great come together and just mastermind around what's going on and what you're dealing with. We've had it five times, and every time it has been phenomenal. We've all learned little bits of everything. So.
Thank you, you beat me to that, and actually because that will interfere with some of the shift classes.
Yeah.
Attend the shift class and you can kind of still talk about deal talks within it, because it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I know that's what I did when I taught that my section 3612.3, that was an easy, I think I did lead conversion. But it was an easy way to just kind of transition into, hey, where are your friends at right now?
So I am still in the market center, Ryan, and I was actually planning to include conversation.
Kick you out of this, right?
I was planning to include a conversation every week about what's really going on in the market, what's happening in your deals, and because the shift like we feel the symptoms of the shift within our deals and within the market, and like our market times go up and all those types of things. So we'll talk about that within the class. I've already planned to have time set aside for that. So
What are you expecting? Are you doing 10 to 12 or 10 to 11, or just kind of as it fits?
it's definitely going to be a solid like hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half of like solid material, and then have enough time for questions and dialogue and all that. I didn't want us to be pressed against time.
From 10 to 12.
Yeah, I know that's what it said, but I know we try to limit as much as we can with everyone's busy schedules.
Yeah. If you guys are bored, you can leave, but it'll be good.
All right, thank you. Yeah, slowly.
Yeah.
All right, the holiday party. This is a very exciting announcement that we are going to be having this at Yorktown Hotel this year. Yorktown is being completely renovated, so it'll be ready by the time we get to this. Obviously, we are going to do locked rooms, so if you're coming from afar, we will have like a group room rate. But that is December 9th, so please mark your calendar. We'll have a lot of information going out over the next couple of weeks. I mean, this is going to be like our grand opening type of push. So please mark that on your calendar, December 9th. Task forces, again, every time we have an office meeting beforehand, we have the ALC meet. ALC is the Agent Leadership Committee. And we basically, these are a group of individuals that have high influence in the market center, and they want to see different areas grow. So we have the growth in DEI, culture, productivity, profitability, technology, and education. We are now going into selecting for 2023. So if you guys are interested in participating in that, please see me. I will be reaching out to some individuals as well. Keller Williams School of Real Estate. I think I was saying earlier, what do we have? 150?
We're not that high.
Not that high?
No.
I thought I saw like 150 something.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
could be. We
So-
plug them in there every week.
Yeah, I probably get like 3 or 4 a week.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get some as well.
Yeah.
But we are starting to see some graduates from it, so we're not quite at a year. And we have one coming in next week to sign up, and then Katie met with somebody as well that just finished it. I think there's been maybe 1 or 2 others as well. So if you have anybody that you know that is interested in real estate school, again, it's free through us. Get them in contact with myself or Greg. Here's a video from the DEI committee, Tina and Nicole, that they wanted to share. This is a video that started from your regional.
Actually, we saw this, Shauna was actually in the room, when we did our business meeting up at PAR this summer in June, which is free to everyone, and the fall meetings are just ending today. This was a presentation that was brought to us by the National Fair Housing Alliance, and they have great information for agents. So I thought this was a good video just to share with everyone.
Do I just hit enter?
Thinking like I have to scroll to it, I don't know what keep
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
I am not techie.
there you
How can you win? You can't win. The game is fixed. We don't own anything. We don't own anything. As a Black person in America, I just see.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties. That's great.
Classic Wi-Fi. What
That's the KW.
home ownership? Unlocking the doors of opportunity and wealth for myself and my community. Now, 7 out of 10 white Americans own a home, while only 4 out of 10 Black Americans own a home. The average white American's net worth is $171,000, but for Black Americans, it's only $17,000. Do the math, that's 10 times more wealth. This gap in our country is a tragic disappointment. Something is wrong with our American dream. After 246 years of enslaving Africans, followed by our 154 years of systematic oppression, are we surprised at these results? Just like any other American, I want to own a home. leaving a legacy for my family and community. But is the game fixed and not in my favor? Let's look to the past for answers. Sitting at the feet of my ancestors, they tell me stories of being stolen from their homes in Africa and sold as property. Stories of the American Constitution declaring that all are created equal, while simultaneously claiming enslaved Africans for only 3/15. They were called property. Tell me, how can property own a home? Sitting at the feet of my ancestors, they tell me how they were emancipated from slavery and exiled into 100 years of segregation and discrimination. Stories about Jim Crow laws forcing them into separate bathrooms, schools, restaurants, and neighborhoods. I hear of 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where bigots steeped in white supremacist ideals burned down Black Wall Street, destroying their thriving businesses and homes. They were called exiles. Tell me, how can exiles own a home? Sitting at the feet of my ancestors, they tell me how they were quarantined like a disease after the Great Depression. The Federal Housing Administration drew red lines around their communities, marking them as undesirable. They share painful memories of banks denying them credit and being sold crooked contracts by predatory lenders. And in 1926, the Supreme Court allowed white Americans to ban them from purchasing homes on their streets. They were called a disease. Tell me, how can a disease own a home? Property, exiles, disease. And that's how our ancestors were seen. How could they win? The game was fixed. But from the ashes, they rose as people, not property, as citizens, not exiles, as healing, not a disease. Harriet Tubman knew she wasn't property, freeing the enslaved from physical and mental bondage on the Underground Railroad. Frederick Douglass knew he wasn't an exile, declaring that to have a home, one must have a country. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. knew he wasn't a disease, preaching healing and then losing his life in a fight for civil rights, economic equality, and fair housing. The week after his assassination, the Fair Housing Act was signed into law, making it illegal to keep Black Americans, like my grandparents, from owning homes. Tubman, Douglass, King, they started this battle for true liberty and justice for all. Today, we're standing on their shoulders, boldly fighting to defend policies like the Community Reinvestment Act and Dodd-Frank Wall Street reform. Laws that are helping close the devastating wealth gap created by America's transgressions of slavery, Jim Crow, and redlining. So as a Black person in America, grabbing the keys to home ownership, I open the doors of opportunity and hope for myself and my family. My hope is realizing an America that collectively acknowledges the wrongs done in our past and boldly roots out inequality in our present, and forever invest in Black lives and communities. Solid foundation has been established, but much is left to build. Our generation, empowered by honest lenders and protected by federal laws, can create wealth and close the gap. Because America is our country. This is our home, and it is our time to rise.
Into a daybreak miraculously. I'm bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave, and soon.
The send off.
Apologize
apologize for the glitchiness, but thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Hi, Vince, don't do that.
Just let the song play. And we like it, we're not mad.
That's crazy.
What's happening over there? We good? Some upbeat music. All right, Andrew is away and he's out west. So he's not gonna be here to share some great mortgage insight. We should bring him back here next month. And I'm gonna have Shauna take the floor. Afterwards, I have a couple announcements to make and then we'll do our drawings. Shauna, you're up.
Right.
On my desk.
All right, hi everyone, good morning.
Morning.
I am really excited to be here today. I'm gonna make my way around a lot of the offices in Yorktown, County, and Shrewsbury today with our friends at Howard Hanna. And my goal today is to share with you a lot of the tools and tips that we have available as a member of RAYAC. And my goal is that I want each of you to be able to take away at least one thing that you didn't know about before today that's going to help you do bigger and better business and make more money at the end of the day. So I'm going to share a whole bunch of things with you. I'm going to talk really, really quickly because I know you have a short time frame, but if you have questions, I'm happy to stay afterwards, happy to talk offline later. Just always feel free to reach out to me, and I apologize how quickly I'm going to go. So I've given you a packet. Quick reference sheet. So RAYAC has a legal hotline. So our solicitor is Peter Ruth. He's with Stock and Leader in downtown New York. If you ever have questions about what needs to be included in a contract, what kind of language can you use? How do you interpret these timelines and deadlines that you need to adhere to? What are you missing here? And what does this really mean on the seller's property disclosure statement? Peter is available to you. You can give him a call. He's absolutely free and he is fantastic. Not only is he a solicitor here for RAYAC, but he is also the solicitor for the York and Adams County or the York County Tax Assessment Office, as well as a solicitor for many of our municipalities in our area. So he is really in tune over what's happening local in this marketplace. And I also like Peter because he speaks in plain language. How many of you have ever spoken to an attorney and they talked you around in a circle, and by the time you were done, you have no idea what you were supposed to do, but you knew the answer was it depends, right? So he's fantastic. He speaks in plain language. He'll help you get those answers. The RAYAC, if you're ever not available to get Peter, we also have the PAR legal hotline available to you. Those are the PAR attorneys at the state level who help to develop the contracts are available to you as a free member benefit. If it is in the middle of the night or on a weekend and you need an answer to some legal question, RAYAC does have a legal corner online where we have collected articles on a variety of different topics and videos, things like the agreement of sale, earnest money deposit, rental property issues, all sorts of things. We have a collection of about 50 different topics on there. So if you have a question, the answer is probably in there, embedded in one of those articles broken down by topic for you, so you can find the answer to you, even when our legal hotline isn't open. We also have a free tech helpline. So they can do things like log into your computer if you have a virus and help wipe the virus off of your laptop. You can't figure out how to set up your laptop to the network printer. They can do that for you. For whatever reason, your Zoom camera is not working, or you keep on getting the same error message over and over and over again. You don't know what to do. Free legal help or the tech helpline is fantastic. I consider myself to be a pretty technologically savvy person, but now that I'm north of 40, it seems to get a little bit less every day. And sometimes my 9-year-old seems to know more about the iPad than I do, which is kind of frightening at this point. But I've used them 5 different times already, and they are fantastic. They're better than Google, and they are so great to work with. They also will give you advice. So if you're looking to upgrade your technology products, they give them a call and get their advice on what you should do. Because all they do is work with realtors across the country. So they know what's working for other realtors, and they know what discounts you get as a member of the National Association of Realtors that you might be able to save a couple dollars while you're upgrading your technology tools. Bright MLS, many of you are subscribers of Bright MLS. You may not be aware of this, but because you're a member of RAYAC, you're getting a discount for your Bright MLS fees. If you weren't a member of RAYAC, because we're a shareholder association of Bright, you save a couple $100 every year by being a member of RAYAC and the Bright MLS subscriber at the same time. Our HOA list. So on our website, we have a condo and HOA list where we have collected over 350 condo and homeowner associations for not only York and Adams County, but some of our surrounding counties as well. So we have information on there, like, is there a resale certificate? What are the fees? What are the documents that you need to provide to your client? What are the annual fees, the monthly fees, the quarterly fees? What do they include? Is the condo or HOA FHA or VA approved? Can you rent the units as well? Because you know that some condo and homeowner associations have a cap on how many rental properties can be in that particular area. And if they say it's only 25% and they're at the 25%, you have an investment buyer, you're not going to be able to purchase a home in that area because they aren't going to be able to use it as investment property. So the answers to all those great questions that we've collected for you is on the HOA and condo database. Make sure you're checking that out whenever you're working in those areas. Municipal database. I often like to say that the best part about Pennsylvania is we're a Commonwealth and we have local government control. The worst part about Pennsylvania is we are a Commonwealth and we have local government control. If you are in real estate, true words could not be said because we have 106 municipalities in our 2-county area, 106. That means we have 106 different rules and regulations that impact the real estate industry because all the land use planning decisions are made at the local municipal level and not at the county level. So we have made it very easy for you at the association, and we have collected a municipal database where we have gotten all this information from all 106 municipalities out there. So I've given you an example here. This is Shrewsbury Township in your packet. So we give you all the general information, websites, phone numbers, who the main contact is. Residential resale inspection. I'm going to be going over that in a little bit more specifically, but some municipalities and municipal authorities have enacted inspections that need to occur before the property transfers hands, and you need to be aware of where those are. Sign ordinances. Open house directional signs are a big thing. Some municipalities say you can put them up anywhere, anyhow, they don't care. Other municipalities say you need to put them, you can put them up 48 hours in advance of the open house. You got to take them down 24 hours that the open house is concluded. Some municipalities say you have to come in and pay for a sign permit in order to erect the open house directional sign. And other municipalities say, no way, no how, you put up that open house directional sign, we're going to take down your sign, we're going to throw it away, we're going to fine you. So if you're doing open houses, you need to check here to figure out whether or not and how you can put up an open house directional sign. Solicitation rules. I know that there are a lot of members who are not aware of this. Many of you will do door knocking in your farming neighborhoods. You're going out there and you're trying to do your prospecting. Many municipalities have solicitation rules so that you are just not able to go out there and do that. You have to get a solicitor's permit in order to be able to do that. So make sure if you are planning on doing that door knocking, that you're looking on the municipal database first to determine whether or not you have to get that peddler's permit in order to be able to do so. Because if you're caught doing that without the permit, it's going to be a couple $100 fine. So make sure you're being compliant with that. What the building codes are, permit requirements of doing any type of renovations on the property. Stormwater management ordinances, because we are located in the Chesapeake Bay watershed, most of our municipalities have enacted stormwater management ordinances. And what that means is that most likely, if you're doing improvements on your property, if it is increasing the impervious square footage on the property, you're not only going to have to get a building permit, you're going to have to also get a stormwater management permit and determine how the runoff is going to go off of your property. And you may even need to go to the expense of hiring an engineer to come up with a design and figure all of that out. So all of a sudden, putting in that couple $100 shed in the backyard is a lot more expensive than that couple $100 shed in the backyard. Now, many municipalities have an exemption. So let's say if it's under 1,000 square feet, you don't need to get the stormwater management permit. However, that stays with the property, not the owner. So the previous owner used up 800 square feet of that exemption. The new owner only has 200 square feet left. And so they're doing something more simple, and it's, let's say, 300 square feet. Now they need to get the stormwater management permit and potentially have to hire an engineer. Your township, notorious for this. They keep very, very good records. So if you are working with some buyers in your township and you know they're going to want to make improvements on the property, one of the first things you advise them is you call into your township, you find out if that previous owner used up any of their allotment on that stormwater management, because that's a big deal in that area. What else do we have here? All right, so we got in-law quarters, whether or not you can use them, permitted use. So if a property is currently being used as a residential property, but it was grandfathered in and now it's in a commercial industrial zone, what happens if the property is destroyed by natural disasters and or fires? Can it be rebuilt as a residential property? The answer is what they have here in permitted use. Some municipalities allow it, others do not. So many insurance companies require that you get something called a burn letter to prove what can you do with the structure if it is damaged. Any type of property maintenance requirements, when the sidewalks need to be shoveled after a snowfall, pet ordinances. These became extremely popular because during the pandemic, it seems like everybody went out and bought a bunch of chickens and put them in their backyard. The many municipalities are like, we don't know if we want chickens and whether or not that's a good thing. So let's take a look at this. And oh, while we're doing it, maybe we need to talk about the amount of pets people have in their properties. And maybe we need to limit the amount of pets because maybe they become a nuisance if there are too many pets in one particular property. So you can see here for Shrewsbury Township, they don't allow more than 3 pets, but many of you didn't know that. So if you're working with buyers and you know they have 4 dogs and you're working in an area and in a municipality and they only allow 3 pets, you need to inform your buyers, I know you got 4 dogs. This may not be the area for you because I can guarantee you the minute you move in with 4 dogs, a neighbor's going to make a call and say, so-and-so who just moved in has 4 dogs and only allowed 3. And now your new buyers are going to have to get rid of one of their favorite 4 dogs. And they're going to call you back and say, why in the world didn't you tell me I couldn't own 4 dogs when I bought this home? When we survey buyers, the #1 reason they're using you is your local market expertise. Part of your local market expertise is knowing the rules and regulations in these municipalities. They are looking to you for that information. And when you aren't providing it to them, they're blaming you for that and they're sharing others and saying that so-and-so didn't tell me that, they weren't knowledgeable, they weren't a good real estate agent. That's not where you want to be in those situations. You want to make sure you know these rules and regulations and are providing it to them. So occupancy ordinance along the same lines, you can only have so many individuals who are unrelated living in one property at one time, depends on the municipality. Whether or not you have to register your security alarms, if the sewer laterals need to be inspected at any time, short-term rentals, this is Airbnb and VRBOs. If the municipality doesn't specifically allow for it in the zoning ordinance, it is most likely prohibited in that particular municipality. I know what many of you are thinking. There's a lot of illegal VRBOs and Airbnbs in York and Adams County, and you're absolutely right. If you're working with buyers and you know that their intentions are to use that property as an Airbnb or a VRBO, check this out and make them aware of whether or not they're allowed to do that in that municipality. And you also want to make sure you're advising them to get legal counsel to make sure that they are adhering to, if they do allow it, because they might have to pay hotel taxes and other types of business taxes associated with running an Airbnb or a VRBO on a property. I can tell you that most of the municipalities in York and Adams County, they are prohibited. And so if you're not advising them that information, again, they're looking for you as a local market expert over what they can and cannot do. You got to make sure you're covering your bases in that particular area. The zoning regulations are septic ordinances. So if you have a private septic system, most municipalities require that it needs to be pumped and inspected in some sort of an annual schedule. Rental property licensing and inspection fees have also become more prominent in our area. Spring Garden Township, $145 per year per unit to have the property licensed and inspected. City of York, $75 every year to have the property licensed, $75 every other year to have the property inspected. Gettysburg Borough. If you're going to be a rental property owner in Gettysburg Borough and you are not a resident of Adams County, you have to hire a property management company located within a 60-mile radius of Gettysburg Borough. You're going to be working with investment buyers at some point in your career. This is one of the first places you need to go when you're looking for properties so that you can educate them on what those rental property licensing and inspection ordinances are. So you can say things like you're interested in purchasing investment properties in York Suburban School District. That sounds great. Spring Garden Township, $145 per year per unit to register your property and have it inspected. There is no rental property licensing inspection fee in Spring Township. Where do you want to look? You got to be the conveyor of that information. Who the elected officials are, when the public meetings are held, who the municipal staff is, the tax information on the property, not just what property taxes are going to pay. Do they have to pay a per capita head tax? What's the earned income tax they're going to pay as a resident of that particular municipality? If there's any business privilege tax or mercantile tax in this municipality? And if none of that impressed you, and I sure hope some of that did, this is the one thing you will always use in every single transaction. The one thing you tell all of your buyers before the property transfers hands is you have to get the utilities into your name. Wouldn't it be beautiful to hand them a list of the public utilities with their websites and phone numbers so that they can get those utilities transferred into their name with ease? So don't be that buyer's agent who called to the listing agent and says, can you provide me with a list of the public utilities? You don't need to do that. You have it here in the municipal database right at your fingertips. So this is one of the biggest benefits that you get as a member of REAC. This is something that you can hand out to your clients. It's barely branded to REAC at all. We want you to share it. We want you to use this information because it is so important to get this information out to the clients and to make sure you're doing things legally and compliantly.
Do we have to sign in on REAC to be able to get access to this, like on our REAC
Yes.
page?
So on your reference sheet here, I have the link to it for the municipal database. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you to sign in. And it is username protected and password. This member only benefit that we provide to you. So please, please, please use this every single transaction. You should be checking this one out. It is such a powerful tool. I said I wanted to talk about point of sale inspections. So I gave you a sheet. These have become more prominent in York and Adams County as well, that they are passing point of sale inspections. So inspections that need to occur prior to the property transferring hands. So private septic systems, and remember, there is a difference between a private septic system and a public sewer system, okay? Make sure you know the difference. So if there are any private septic systems in Peach Bottom and Shrewsbury Township, you have to get a septic certification before the property transfers hands. If you do not, it is a $1,000 fine to the listing agent and the buyer's agent each. Make sure that happens there. And I promise you, they get the realty transfer tax fees and they follow up with their records to determine whether or not the septic certification was done, and they are quick with those fines. Make sure you're doing it in Peach Bottom and Shrewsbury Township. Delta Borough has passed an ordinance that if you have any galvanized steel pipe water connections into the property, you have to replace them by the end of this year. Unless the property sells before the end of this year, then you have to replace them prior to the property transferring hands. This is a big one because replacing those galvanized steel pipes is not easy. It's tearing up yards, it's tearing up sidewalks, it's taking out shrubbery, it's expensive. Now, we hope that this will be addressed prior to the end of this year, but we know that's not going to be the case. We know that there are going to be property owners who did not replace those galvanized steel pipes by the end of this year. And there's a high likelihood that's because they can't afford to. So then when they know they have to, because the borough's coming after them with fines and fees, they're like, I'm just going to sell it. The buyers now, before they can purchase that property, will need to get those galvanized steel pipes replaced. So you need to be aware of this one. This is a very, very big one that's happening down in the borough.
That's just in Delta, right?
That's in Delta, correct. But it could be coming to a municipality near you.
I'm sure it would be.
As soon as one municipality does something, it starts to spread like wildfire, and other people say, that's a great idea. We should do that
Especially if
too."
they can make money on it.
No kidding. All right, so public sewage, our sewer connection inspections. So they're looking for illegal connections into the sewage system, downspouts going into the sewage system, sump pumps being connected into the sewage systems have to be corrected prior to the property transferring hands. They exist in New Oxford Municipal Authority, that's in Adams County. They cover about 4 different municipalities there. Properties in Reading Township Municipal Authority and Adams County have it. More likely where you're doing business, Springfield Township, York County Sewer Authority. It is a mouthful, but it's more than just Springfield Township. It's Springfield Township, Loganville Borough, and Seven Valleys Borough all have this in place. And Delta does too, because why not? Because that's just what they do. So this is important. If there are public sewage connections, you have to get these inspections done prior to the property transferring hands. Yeah.
Can I say something on that? So I just had one done on a farm that I had in the borough, Seven Valley Borough. And I will tell you that they do not schedule the inspection. So you will order it. And if the house is empty, you better make sure that that house is open for them because they will charge you every time you go out. My sellers got charged 5 times on property because they would not, and I was calling in every day to find out when they were going in and they wouldn't tell me.
So in that specific one, you have to call at 7:45, not at 7:40. I called at 7:40. They wouldn't talk to me yet. But if you call at 7:45, they will tell you the schedule for the day and give you like a 2-hour window.
Now,
does
they
the
did
inspection?
give me, I just had one too that just settled last week. He did give me a day of when
Yeah.
he was going in.
Yeah, but if you have an empty
But if
house,
it's well,
racing,
what
you have
I
to do
did
that a
was
little bit.
I left a check on the kitchen counter and gave him the lockbox code, and then I didn't, because my house was vacant as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So he did do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
they must be getting a little smarter because I fought with them for long.
Yeah,
just settled.
Yeah, they're definitely particular, but you gotta work with what you got, so.
Yeah.
And my best advice is do this early. You don't need to wait until you have a buyer in place, because that inspection lasts for 6 months to a year.
Well, and it took him a week to get the report back to the settlement company. So even though he's going in plenty of time, he's not worried about getting that paperwork in any hurry.
And then if there are corrections that need to be made, it's
Right.
when you delay.
Then you got time, yeah.
And I've gotten pushback from other agents who are like, well, that's really, the buyer should pay for that, and if it needs to be corrected, we can negotiate who's gonna pay for that. Listen, at the end of the day, if there's something that's discovered that needs to be corrected and the buyer walks, the seller's gonna have to fix it and repair it, because now they're aware of it and the seller needs to take corrective action. So my best advice, talk to your sellers about it in advance, get it done even before you get the listing paperwork signed. Then it's taken care of. You don't need to worry about it. It's not going to hold up your settlement. So we monitor these and look for this stuff, but I will tell you, these are municipal authorities who are passing these, not municipalities. So it's kind of interesting for a little bit of a history lesson here. So municipalities are elected bodies. You elect your township board of supervisors, the commissioners, borough councilmen, city councilmen, all of that. You elect them. Authorities are appointed by the municipalities and owned by them, but they do not need to adhere to the same sunshine laws that municipalities do. So they don't need to advertise their ordinances in advance. They can literally put something on their agenda the day before, make no public notice, and they can pass it. And that's typically what they do. And I love the fact that they contact me after they passed their new regulation to let me know I should tell my realtors about it, but they never give me the courtesy of giving it a heads up notice to say they're thinking about doing it, to see what our input might be. So that's why these things come about quickly. We aren't able to fight them because they've already taken place, because they don't have to advertise them. So we do monitor all the municipal ordinances, but many of these are covered by authority, so they're held to different standards. So that's one of the reasons why this is what I believe exists today, but tomorrow this could very well change, and I could get a phone call and some other municipal authority decided that they were going to do something similar. So we try
So
to
if you hear anything happening in your area, run it up the flagpole with Shauna, just as an FYI, because she may have known about it, she may not, but it's good for all of us in the association.
Also keeping you in the know, news briefs. So I said we do read the newspapers every day. So the York Daily Record, the York Dispatch, Hanover Evening Sun, Gettysburg Times, Central Penn Business Journal, Penn Live, to keep us informed of what's going on. But what we do for all of you, as I said, you need to be the conveyors of information and be in the know, is we release a news briefs every week on Monday. So we recap everything from all of those newspapers and split them up into York and Adams counties and provide that to you. It takes less than 5 minutes to read. And there's important things like who's going to be increasing their school district property taxes? Is there no subdivision and land development ordinance going in? What's that new development that's going in down the street? Things that you and your clients should be aware of. It takes you less than 5 minutes to read it. You don't have to pay for a newspaper subscription. It's completely free. It's this great benefit we offer to all of you to keep you in the know, because it's never a good situation when you're there and your client says to you, I read about this and not in the newspaper. Do you know anything about it? And you're sitting there and headlights and know nothing about it. We're trying to keep you in the know as much as possible so that you can be the local market expert. So you can find that on our website as well. Every Monday we post it on our social media account, so you can link up to it on our website. RPR. RPR is the Realtors Property Resource. If you are not using RPR, you need to make this one of your goals to learn more about RPR and figure out how you can meld this into your business plan, because this is a big asset that we offer and is completely free as a member benefit. What it does is it combines the public record information and Bright MLS data into one easily used platform and does these fantastic reports. So I provided you the report of a property here in York County. The front of it can have your brand, your picture, your company logo, all that other good stuff. On the very first page, it gives you the RVM and what they believe the estimated value is on the property and how confident they are that that is the estimated value on the property. They also select comps for you of what they think are comparable properties to your subject property, which you can accept or decline and choose your own, and that will change the RVM and make it go up or down based upon what comps you have selected, but they give you suggestions of what comps you should be using for this particular property. It gives you all the home facts, bedrooms, bathrooms, basement types, cooling types, construction types, all that good stuff. It gives you the historical photos. So if the property was ever listed in the MLS, it gives you all the photos of the property that was in the last. Comps and adjustments. It will plot the comps. I didn't select any comps for this because I wanted to show you how simple this product was. But it plots them on a map and then it gives you the differences of your subject property and the comps that they have selected and put them all on a map platform for you there in that method. It gives you the history of the property, what the increases and decreases are on the sales value of properties that they believe in that particular area, what the sales history has been, the legal description, the mortgage and deed information is all there for you. It also gives you whether or not there's been any financing activity on the property. So have they taken out any home equity loans for the property? These look absolutely terrible in black and white. They look gorgeous in color. They are heat maps that show you the changes in estimated values of the neighborhood in the property, whether or not it's in flood zone and how close it is to a flood zone. Again, print them out in color. Don't be a cheapskate like me and print them out in black and white. But all of the different values, the listing inventory in the area, the inventory distress listings in the area, the median sales price per square foot for bedrooms. I mean, and it gives you all the school district information as well, and the economic statistics of the area economics for this particular property, all in one single platform. Do you know how long this took me to put together? Less than 2 minutes. Literally, all I did was go to the RPR website, typed in the property address, hit search, and printed out the residential property report. That's it. There are 1,001 things that you can do in here to customize it, to tweak it, to make it your own, change up the comp, all that good stuff. But a quick down and dirty analysis in 2 minutes, you can't get any better than this. So you need to start incorporating, because in this business, time is money, and this is going to save you time and money and make you educated. Every single thing that you have, you really got to start incorporating it. And as well, when you were going out and showing properties, when you're opening up CenterKey, you can pull up the property description in RPR right from your CenterKey app. So if the agent has assigned the listing to the lockbox, it'll give you an option that you can pull it up on an app on your phone and get all this information. So when your client's asking you questions, you don't have to figure out how to get it right on the left and log in and print it out. You can print out the listing sheet, and get it all through RPR through CenterKey app on your phone. Fantastic thing. Make sure you're putting that in on your platforms. If you aren't following us on our social media platforms, please do, because we provide a ton of information out there. I do a video series, it's called From the Desk to the React Deck, where I answer a lot of frequently asked questions that come across my desk every single day. I promise you, I think I have 25, 30 videos out there. I promise you the questions on there that you've asked. And so you can go there, find that information, follow us on YouTube. Just a couple of other things, extras that we do at the association that you may not be aware of is Seller Shield. Seller Shield is an online seller's property disclosure form that you give to your clients. And essentially it's like a TurboTax for your clients to fill out the seller's property disclosure form. So if they're not certain what the answer is or what they're supposed to include in one section of the SPD, there's info buttons and pop-up blocks that give them more information about what they should be including in their seller's property disclosure statement. Have you ever seen those SPDs and they have so many questions that are left blank? That's not filled out completely. That's going to put them more at risk. I can tell you that the mediations at the association office are up, and the reason that they're up is failure to disclose. How to avoid liability for your clients, your sellers in the future, is filling out the seller's property disclosure form completely. Utilizing a platform like Seller Shield will make sure that happens. They can't skip questions. If there's more than one owner of the property, they both have to go through and verify that the other person's answers are accurate and correct. And I will tell you this right now, if there has ever been a drop of water in that basement, they need to say it. Because that, while I say disclosure is the number one issue, the number one issue with disclosure issues is they said there was never any water in the basement, and now there's water in the basement after my first couple months ago. Happens all the time. So use Seller Property, Seller Shield. It is a free product. I'll send it to Ryan. He can send it to all of you so you can get signed up as a REACT member and start utilizing that and have your sign through that platform.
It's great because if you can't read your seller's handwriting or they're like 400 years old, it's great because everything is typed out. It's beautiful.
And the last two extras is we have a free notary service at RAYAC. So if you ever need notary work done, feel free to stop by our office, make an appointment with Doug Clark. Just make sure you make an appointment because he's the only notary in the office. I can't do that for you. We want to make sure he's there. Every now and then we do allow him to go to lunch and take a vacation. So get that free notary service at RAYAC. And also our building is absolutely free for you to use. So if you want to do something like a lunch and learn at the office, you can rent out the RAYAC classroom completely free. You need to do a settlement on the west end of town, rent out the RAYAC boardroom, absolutely free to you. If you just need a place to stop by because you want some free coffee and free Wi-Fi.
Or go to the bathroom.
Any of that,
That's
just stop by the RAYAC office. You don't need to make appointments for just the pop-ins or an office space to use. Those are completely free to you to use. We'd love to see you. And that's it.
Thank you. I need a drink after that. Well, there's- All right, a couple announcements. We'll do the drawing. I heard Kieran's here, so I'm sure everyone can see. Timer on. I'm hungry. All right. So two things I want to recognize. Belinda is a guest, but going to be Keller Williams agent here. She comes from Wisconsin. She's currently going through real estate courses through Kaplan. So I wanted to make sure that we recognize it. And if I miss anything, please let me know. But also I saw Taylor got engaged. I guess what last? Yep. And I know the dude, he's all right. Any other announcements anybody have before I go into my next one? All right, I have a little speech here. I'm gonna leave. So a couple big announcements I wanted to share with you guys at the end here. We obviously here at Keller Williams promote growth and opportunity, even if it is outside your community. Katie has decided to take her business into Maryland, which is in the Westminster office. So we definitely can't wait to see Katie fly in there. But I wanted to share that because whether you maybe found out already, I did see you did have some conversations, but did you have anything you wanted to share with that?
I love this office and this decision was very, very difficult for me. And I am looking forward to seeing everybody in your crowd and staying in touch. So you'll still see me at all the RAYAC events. I might jump on this office because nobody down there knows RAYAC.
So we'll still have you up for all of our stuff. You're still family here, so. Also, Megan Link is also focusing on her growth of her business. She's actually taken a step back from agent services. So she has like some other opportunities she's exploring right now. Obviously, we know that she's been the transaction coordinating. She is still in the office, so we're still going to be able to see her and have her nice excitement, enthusiasm throughout the office. So that is pretty something. So when that being said, there are several opportunities for leadership inside and outside of the York office here. So if you are interested in any type of leadership opportunities, please see us. I want to get this up one day, but we have an opportunity map that I want to get up on the wall somewhere. And there's more than just being an agent here. There's leadership roles there, like we talk about ALC. There's a lot of different things. There's even coaching that, if you remember, Joe was in MAPS coaching. That's a national coaching opportunity. So things like that, they excite you and you're just kind of figuring out what your next step is. That's an opportunity that we can talk about and go from there. Lastly, our search for the new team leader has officially come to an end. And I am relieved because it's been a rough couple months here, a lot of things going on, but we discovered an individual with a history of leadership and management and has proven talent here as a real estate agent. She has done over 7.9 million in sales last year. And I want to announce and welcome Erin Rogers as a so all problems not good, Erin. All right, we're gonna go into drawings. If you want to speak on that.
Sure. So I'm really excited about this opportunity. I didn't realize this opportunity was so close at my fingertips. So really, there's a lot of chances here to lead and a lot of opportunity to grow in different ways. And I just learned a lot about that. So I'm happy to have that conversation with you guys too. I'm really excited to bring energy and positivity and some changes to the office. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and getting to know you all individually. I can't do this without your help, and I know that, and so I'm looking forward to some one-on-ones and getting to know how you want to see the market center change and how I can make that happen.
At a basketball hoop.
Yeah.
I already talked to. One-on-one meeting, don't listen to us.
I second the basketball hoop.
Never, where are you gonna shoot? In the back. In the back, I already know, I'm not an architect. So I said I would do it, but there's, no, I'm talking to one-on-one with Aaron. All right, we'll talk then. Yeah, anyone gonna put their business card in?
Whoa.
No, you don't have one?
No.
No. All right. All right, so the usual, we're gonna do, might add one more thing. The shift is being taught, I'm gonna add a shift book in there. I don't know how many people have one, I know some people do, but I'm gonna add that. I don't have it in front of me, then go to the inventory room. So first is $50 Sheets gift card. Can't pick yourself.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Come on. Diana.
Oh, you got beer to win. Got beer to win.
So that means she gave it to me. Thanks, Diana.
Gotta do it again. Because I'm like walking all around.
Bob.
Don't get mad at me, Michael. All right, go ahead. This is for the 295. Sorry. I need to write this down. Put it- yeah, right there. Oh, you got it, all right, thank you. All right, 3 monthly office dues. All right, lastly, we're gonna do free shift book, so hopefully this person doesn't have all of them. This is gonna be. You already have. Do you, is there something else, like another book that you can? Flipper. Hey, that's me. Now, why'd you do that? You're still moving, you guys. All right, that's it. Thank you, guys. Peace out.
Everybody, and I'll post on social media.
Yes.
Out in the lobby by the
I'm in
sign.
the lobby, usually charge $50 for something. Where are you taking this?
Alright. Not good, man.
And I think. Oh, shoot.